Hello and welcome. Today we are going to solve inequalities. See, inequalities, there are many answers. It's not one particular answer like x equal to 5 or something. Okay, we'll see how to do or what to do. Okay, the inequality sign, the inequality signs are more than or less than, more than or equal to, less than or equal to. Those signs gets reversed. That line when reversed, when these are the things, when you multiply by a negative number or divide by a negative number or taking the reciprocal on both sides, these are the situations the inequality gets reversed. Okay, let me do some questions. Okay, the first question, solve for x and graph the solutions. Because it's more than one answer, we can graph the solutions. Okay. When you solve inequality, the process is exactly the same. Only when it comes to division or multiplication or the other case, like reciprocal case, the procedure is exactly the same. Okay, so we start doing the question. Now, when you read the first question, solve 2x divided by 5, take away 3, more than 7. Now, we are going to do exactly the balancing method, but we stick with the inequality sign. Okay, so the last thing we do before a greater than sign is minus 3, and opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. So I do plus 3 on both sides. When I do that, the equation is not going to change. Okay, that's the whole point. So now, as I told you, whenever you do this, one side is a slash, the other side is circle. Before that, I write the question again because it looks so. So the question is, I write the question again, 2x divided by 5, take away 3, more than 7. So as I told you before, we are going to add plus 3 on both sides. Plus 3 on both sides. Now the question becomes, I told you one side is a slash, one side is a slash, the other side is a circle. So now the question becomes 2x divided by 5, slash means it disappears, but you have to put the same sign, which is inequality sign greater than. Then combining 7 and 3, we're going to get 10. Okay, now when you look at this question, 2x, when you read before the inequality, the last thing we do is divided by 5. Opposite of divided by 5 is times 5. So I do times 5 on both sides. Times 5 and times 5. Now, as I told you, one side is a slash, the other side is a circle. This is a slash side, this is a circle side. So now, when you do the slashing, you end up getting 2x is more than 10 times 5, 50. Now, 2x means 2 times x or x times 2. We do the opposite of times 2, which is divided by 2 on both sides. When I do, as I told you, one side is a slash, 2 disappears, one side is a circle, leaving with your answer is x more than 25. So this is your solution. Okay. Now, the question says, solve for x and graph the solutions. We have to graph the solutions on the number line. Okay. So this is the number line. Now, I need to have zeros and negatives and stuff. So this is the number line here. Now, because it's x more than 25, probably I don't want to go in 1, 2, 3. I'll go as a multiple of 5. So it's first 5. You don't need to go this far. You can straight away write as 25 as a number on the right side. But for some questions, you need scaling. But this question, you don't need scaling. You can straight away write 0 and 25. Now, this is something important. See, x more than 25 means anything to the right of that, right of this part, and again, after 25. So anything on this will be the solutions. Okay, anything. But it cannot be equal to 25. So how do we denote that is, first, we try to put a circle around. That means that is not included. Now, you have to be on it's an open circle. Okay, it should be an open circle. Oh dear. should be an open circle. So I'm just putting an open circle here. Then on the right, because x more than 25 is on the right. Now some people do like this, but sometimes they don't agree with that answer. So preferably use another color, make the circle, and this part, make this part more visible, and then you have to put the arrows as well. So that means these are the solutions of x, okay, which is x more than 25. That is really important. Open circle and on the right. Okay, now we do another question. Okay, now the next question is again solve for x, and of course we are going to graph the solution. Let us see the solving business. Okay, we tend to keep the pronumeral even though the question says 1 minus 3x more than or equal to 13. I write the question again. 1 minus 3x more than or equal to 13. Even though the question says minus 3x is the one before the thing, I like to remove the number on the left hand side. So opposite of 1 is 1 means plus 1. Opposite of plus 1 is minus 1. So I do minus 1 on both sides. So now and again the usual stuff. One side is a slash, the other side is a circle. So leaving with your question now has minus 3x more than or equal to 12. Okay. Now this is the thing. Minus 3x means minus 3 times x or x times minus 3. That's the meaning. So what is the opposite of minus 3x is plus 3x. Okay, remember that. Opposite of this is 3x. You can do that. Or you can do, okay, so x times minus 3. So opposite of times minus 3, I think I want to do only that. Opposite of times. Opposite of times minus 3 is divided by minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. So it's negative 3 and negative 3. Now, another thing I need to remember here is I'm dividing by negative. So what happens is the first one, this one side slash and one side circle, we can use that method. But then this inequality sign also changes. Okay, so first I write the number, which is x, and here minus 4. Because I'm dividing by negative number, this greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to. Remember that? That changes. The inequality gets reversed. Okay, because I divide by a negative number. So therefore, your solution is x less than or equal to negative 4. Okay, now we go to the number line. So this is my number line. Because it says x less than or equal to minus 4, maybe I put my 0 somewhere here. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever. I can just take 2, 4, whatever the thing I just take. So it's minus 2, minus 4, minus 10, something like this. Okay, so now, first part it is equal to, and it's minus 4. So first I have to do on the line, which is, this time it's going to be a filled circle. Okay, it's not an open circle like the before. The before one is a open circle, this is a filled circle. And then less than or equal to, if you have equal to sign, because it is less than, it has to be going this way. As I told you, use different color, and that is your answer. Okay, so I just use a bit bigger the circle, and this is your solution. Okay, now we do one more question. Now this time the question has kind of inequalities on both sides. So we have to remember. So you have to remember only the one x component in the middle. So the question is minus 6 less than 5x plus 9 less than or equal to 34. Now first thing we do is this. You have to consider this part. So I need to remove the 9. So I'm just going to do minus 9 throughout. I'm going to do minus 9 throughout. So what happened is the question now becomes minus 6 minus 9 less than 5x plus 9 take away 9 less than or equal to 34 minus 9. So my equation now becomes like this. Now I'm going to group the collected like terms or just simplify. If I do, this line becomes minus 15 less than, the 9 and minus 9 gets cancelled, leaving with this, and that gives you 25. Okay, now we don't want 5x. We have to look at this number. We don't want 5x. We want only x. So what we are going to do is we are going to divide throughout by 5. You are dividing the whole thing by 5. So I'm just going to rewrite the question by dividing by 5. So it's minus 15 by 5 less than 5x divided by 5 less than or equal to 25 divided by 5. Now I'm going to simplify. When I do, the minus this becomes minus 3, this becomes 5. So when I do that, this becomes minus 3 less than 5x by, that becomes less than or equal to 5, and here x lashes, leaving with x. Okay, so now my x has, the solution is between, like, minus 3 less than x less than or equal to 5. So that's my solution. Okay, now I have to use the number line to do that. And this time, see, the previous two questions, the scale really doesn't matter, whereas here, the number line should have proper scaling. Now, we need numbers from minus 3 to 5. So, probably, I'm just going to have maybe if I have 0 here, then I'm just going to go in 2s. Maybe if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 1, 3, 5, then minus 3 here. Okay, I'm just not doing every number, it's going to be crowded. Now, when you look at the solution, I write the solution. We are supposed to, draw the solutions of this inequality. Oh, sorry. Okay. So x is minus x. Actually, what happens, x is between minus 3 to 5. Okay, but minus 3 on that side, it is an open circle. Minus 3 is an open circle and plus 5 is a closed circle. Closed circle and anything in between. So I can just draw the line. So this is my solution for the question. Okay, so you just put the mark the end values, depends on whether the equality sign is there or not, and then you just finish the rest. Okay, this is the graph of the solution of this equation, minus 6